Well, we're very close to Buckingham Palace here. As you can see, people have been making their way to the palace despite the coronavirus restrictions and social distancing measures that are in place in the United Kingdom at the moment. Flowers have been laid outside the palace, wreaths, messages of condolence, and this sombre feeling here, it was really starting to spread throughout London at least, and throughout the United Kingdom. The Queen, Her Majesty the Queen, made this announcement this morning via palace officials that her beloved husband, as she called him, had passed away peacefully at Windsor Castle. He had been there since leaving hospital a few weeks ago, where he had undergone treatment for a pre-existing heart condition. He'd also stayed at another hospital for treatment for an infection on the advice of his doctors, but all treatments then were expected to have gone well, or said to have gone well, and it seemed as though he was in high spirits, according to other members of his family. In the last 2 weeks, though, he has been at Windsor Castle with Her Majesty the Queen. It's understood that she wanted to spend as much time with him as possible, having not been able to visit him while he was in hospital. But obviously a very sad day for her, losing the man that has been by her side since they were married 73 years ago.
One would believe that if an elderly person passes away, it would have been expected, and members of the public would actually accept it. And so, tell us about the level of shock there. Is it as intense as it would have been if it was somebody else within the palace?
Of course, yes. Her Majesty the Queen is herself in her 90s. Her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, is 99. He was going to be celebrating his 100th birthday in June. So, you know, he had a long life. 99 years is a long life by anyone's standards. So perhaps it's not shock that he's passed away, especially considering the number of illnesses that he's had in recent years and that month-long stay that he's had in hospital very recently. But it is sad, you know. He has been a part of British life for a long time. He has been with the Queen while she has reigned throughout the entirety of her reign. He married her before she was Queen, when she was just a princess. He has been her rock, effectively, her stay and her support and strength throughout the entirety of her time at the head of the British royal family. And it will mark a sort of pivotal moment here as well. He saw himself as a person that could modernise, or try to modernise, the British royal family at least, and he was very private, stoic when it came to his dealings with various illnesses that he had. But it still is a really big moment in British history that the Queen's consort, her partner, has passed away.
Surely we will keep in touch with you as we put ear on the ground to hear if there are any funeral announcements, so that we can be on top of the story.
Absolutely. So funeral announcements are going to be made in the coming weeks. We understand that it's not going to be a state funeral as such. We think it's going to be a private ceremony at Windsor Castle. We understand that the Duke's body will remain there until that ceremony, and people are being encouraged not to attend that funeral, not to come out on that day, whenever it is.
All right, thank you so much for your time. Laura Makin Isherwood, our correspondent, coming to us live from London.